City operations, Justice 113.
Justice 113, this flight off, over.
Be there in about 5 minutes.
It's another day in penal America, and a new prisoner transport arrives. This is JPATS, America's prisoner airline. Each flight is met by a security detail armed with lethal killing power. The outside world was shocked by pictures of shackled prisoners in Guantanamo Bay. But to the US Marshals who run JPATS, flying prisoners in chains is a daily event. JPATS, Justice Prisoner Alien Transportation System, is the latest weapon in the war on crime.
Each week, headlines bombard us with news of arrests, illegal aliens, drug trafficking, and a host of other violent crimes.
The US Marshal Service are keen to promote the world's first flying prison. The United States prison population is exploding, nearly 2 million. JPATS is used to ship prisoners to vacant jail spaces around the US or deport illegal aliens back to their home countries.
The airplanes go real fast and we can move a lot of prisoners very quickly. Plus it's safer. We don't want to keep these prisoners in cars or vans or buses where they can jump out the windows and possibly escape, whatever. We've never had an escape at 37,000 feet.
Channel 4 News joined a routine prisoner flight from deep in the American heartland in Kansas to Oklahoma, 360 miles away. Before the flight, prisoners are searched for any conceivable weapon.
When there's 3 of us against 40 of them, you can't watch all of them at the same time. And so you never know what they might be trying to do. So every time that we move one of the inmates, we search them, check them to make sure that they don't have any contraband.
Up for me. Stand up. All right. You're up for me.
Every prisoner is shackled like a Roman slave.
Look at that. I'm the only one with a black bun.
The block on his handcuffs is to stop any attempt to pick the lock. It doesn't matter if you're a murderer, a rapist, a drunk driver, or even an illegal alien whose only crime is entering the United States in search of work. Man or woman, the chains go on. Are all these prisoners high-security prisoners?
We dub them as all high-security prisoners because we don't differentiate between a person that may be, for instance, charged with a white-collar crime or doing prison time for a white-collar offense versus a one that's doing time that's, for instance, like a terrorist or a bank robber that's involved with violent crime.
So on this plane, we could have like bank robbers, murderers.
Absolutely.
People who've just not paid their child support.
Yes, absolutely, and that's very likely. Yes.
On board, I expected cages. Inside, it looked like a normal plane. Under international air regulations, all civilian aircraft must be able to evacuate their passengers within 90 seconds. If there was a fire, I could run to the exit. But the prisoners were trussed up in chains. How would they get out? The guards admit that a quick exit for the prisoners is impossible.
First and foremost, we get ourselves out, and on the emergency exits, then we assist prisoners out the best way we possibly can. It would probably take 2 guys, to assist them out because they couldn't get out of the exit deals by themselves. It's a task just getting one person out. Yourself. Yeah. You got to step through and bring your body through and all that, and then down the wing and then down the slides.
The Federal Aviation Authority is powerless to intervene because JPATS classifies itself as a government, not a civilian airline. But Kent Pekerick insists his airline is safe.
We can get them out reasonably quickly. Yes, we can. Because, if you have your feet and you can walk with your feet, we can slide them down the chute, so we can evacuate that airplane pretty fast.
Have you ever done a test of
We have not. No, we have not.
Not every JPATS passenger is happy with the in-flight service, despite their limited means of protest. Some passengers bite and spit.
If I put it on here, so you kind of put it
like this right here. And then we tie it right there.
Right. So they're sort of trying to spit, and that
right.
basically.
And that way it still has plenty of air to breathe.
Right. And do you use it often?
Not very often.
Yeah.
And when
Have you ever used it?
Yes, sir, I have.
Yeah.
And it is very effective.
Right.
We landed at JPAT's headquarters, a special federal prison in Oklahoma, built next to a runway. The flight took 55 minutes, but some of these prisoners will have been in chains for over 24 hours, waiting to be searched, processed, bussed, and finally flown. The chains force you to take half steps.
You can't really move your hands to the side here. You can just
Right,
about get your mouth.
You have enough room to eat. You have enough room to use the restroom. Other than that, you're restricted from all movement.
But if I wanted to go to the bathroom to use the toilet, not just to pee, how would I do it?
You do the best you can. Usually our pants are pretty loose, so it's not hard to get down.
Yeah. But would you ever unshackle
No,
them?
sir. Not unless it was a medical emergency.
Right. And obviously, it doesn't restrict the blood, but it's still, if you were kind of twisting it for long, it'd get really sore.
Right.
Yeah. So do you feel safer?
They're not designed to be comfortable. They're
Yeah.
designed to transport you from one place to another one in a safe and orderly manner.
Do you ever get criticised by civil rights groups saying, "Oh, the way that you put them in chains, it's just like you putting them in animals. How can you do that?"
This is ironic. This is a good question. Ever since JPATS was formulated back in 1995, JPATS has had we have not had one complaint or one civil rights violation from any of the prisoners. We treat the prisoners very fairly. We treat them like human beings. And the only force they would ever see is that we meet force with force, and that's all.
Another JPATS flight prepares to take off. America doesn't understand the international outrage over the shackling of suspected al-Qaeda terrorists at Guantanamo Bay. For all that American society sees in Camp X-Ray is a mirror image of how it chains its own prisoners. Kevin Toulis for Channel 4 News, Oklahoma.